This is the maintenance section, in which we will demonstrate and explain how to perform basic or routine maintenance on a typical wet screw rotary compressor. Scheduled maintenance is normally carried out daily, weekly, monthly, 3-monthly, and yearly. In the following demonstrations, you will learn the basic procedures for performing tasks that need to be performed within the schedules. We begin with those tasks related to lubrication. The first task we will demonstrate is the checking of oil level. This is a daily task, which ideally should be done at the start of each shift and before the compressor is started up. Depending upon make and model, oil levels are checked by observing a sight glass window or a level indicator gauge. Level indicators will always be situated on the air oil receiver separator. The oil level in the sight glass, with the compressor shut down, should reach the top of the glass. In this example, the oil level is low and requires topping up. The oil level on this unit is within specification, as it shows a normal reading. To read a level indicator, wipe the glass clean and try to observe the indicator at eye level. The standard procedure for topping up oil is as follows. Shut down the unit in accordance with the operating instructions. Remember that rotary compressors have to be unloaded before you disconnect the power. This can, in many cases, take up to a minute or two. Once unloaded, isolate the power supply to prevent an accidental startup. Close the main supply valve. Release the internal air pressure. On this unit, this is achieved with an air bleed. Clean the area around the filler cap to prevent dirt entering the receiver. In order to reduce the risk of dirt getting into the system, clean all the containers that you might be using to decant the oil. Make sure that you have a supply of the correct oil. Remove the filler cap when you are ready to introduce the clean oil. Carefully pour oil into the receiver and keep an eye on the level indicator. On this particular unit, the level is correct when oil reaches the top of the filler plug hole. Replace and secure the filler cap immediately after filling to prevent dirt entering the system. Let us now demonstrate the oil changing procedure for a typical unit. It should be noted that the compressor must be at operating temperature when oil is being changed. The same shutdown and isolation procedure must first be done as you learnt in the topping up procedure. The air supply is isolated and the internal pressure released, as we saw earlier. Clean the area around the filler cap to prevent dirt entering the receiver. On our demonstration unit, a drain hose has to be connected to the drain cock situated at the bottom of the tank. This is a typical situation for other makes as well. Next, remove the filler cap. This will assist the draining of the oil. The drain cock is now opened and the old oil is directed into a catcher tray or into any other suitable container. Do not allow oil to drain out directly onto the ground. It will take a fair amount of time for all of the oil to drain out. Once the oil has finished draining, the drain cock is closed and the hose removed. The plug is replaced to keep dirt out of the opening. It is standard practice for the oil filter to be replaced at the same time as the oil is changed. An oil filter, especially an upright mounted unit, will be full of oil, so, as in our example, we shall need to place a container beneath the filter. A filter wrench is a handy device for loosening a filter element. However, this tool must not be used to tighten a new filter, as it will damage the housing. Remove the element and drain off any oil that is within it. The element should be discarded. Before you attempt to renew the filter, make sure that the filter adapter is clean. Next, having obtained the specified filter element, we will charge it with oil. This is done by carefully filling the filter with clean oil. Note that this step is not possible when the element is mounted horizontally. Such an element is fitted dry. Prior to fitting the filter, lubricate the seal with oil as demonstrated. This will prevent the seal from twisting off when the element is tightened up. Now the filter can be threaded carefully onto the mounting block and tightened. Note that tightening must be done by hand only. Never use the filter wrench to tighten a filter. The receiver is now filled with oil in the manner described for topping up. Having brought the oil level to the indicated mark, replace the filler cap firmly. Next, run the compressor off-load for about 4 or 5 minutes so as to have the oil circulate throughout the internal system. During this time, keep a sharp lookout for any oil leaks, especially at the oil filter base. Shut the unit down using the standard shutdown procedure after it has operated for the specified time. Allow a minute or two for the oil to settle, then recheck the level. Top up in the manner previously described if the level has dropped below the minimum mark. Remember to dispose of used oil in an appropriate and responsible manner. The checking of drive belts is applicable to certain compressor types. We repeat the warning that the compressor must be completely isolated from the power supply before attempting to inspect the drive belts. It is usually necessary to remove safety guards in order to gain good visual access to the belts. Drive belts should be checked for damage and wear in the manner described in Tech AV's programs BCD. Make sure that the safety guards are refitted and secured when you have completed the belt inspection. Air-cooled heat exchangers are prone to collecting dirt and dust around the cooling fins. Dirty cooler fins will result in oil overheating and compressor failure. The fins should be thoroughly cleaned using the air dusting gun. It is recommended that, in order to dislodge the dirt, you blow in the reverse direction to normal flow. To complete the service, make sure that you clean the whole unit to remove any oil spillage. Refit the covers and give the exterior a good wipe down to remove greasy hand marks. Operate the unit and keep a watchful lookout for any problems. Where applicable, remove any debris from the air intakes, as this will cause overheating and other problems. When you are satisfied that the unit is operating smoothly, then open the main supply valve to place the compressor back online. Finish the job by tidying up and leaving the compressor area clean and free of rubbish, liquid spills and obstacles. That concludes the video section for Module 3. Join us again in other modules where you can learn more about the subject of compressed air systems maintenance.